Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be talking about search engine optimization with Next.js applications. So we get a lot of issues when we talk about search engine optimization with React because React does not offer such server-side rendering, and because of that, when we use highly user interactive websites or e-commerce websites, it's very problematic to get the search engine dynamic insertions done, and that's why a lot of major companies are moving to a technology with having the support of search server-side rendering. And that is what I'm going to be talking about in this video. What I've basically done is created this very basic Next app with the name Next SEO, and I have not done anything. I've just added some code in the page file, which looks something like a user profile. So as you can see, it basically does nothing but shows the user details. Now, to talk about search engine optimization on an application where we are displaying user profiles, we definitely need search engine optimization to show user details on the basis of user information stored. So now at this moment, as you can see that there is no metadata added, and because of which on the top of this website you'll see localhost 3000, but what we want to do is basically show user specific name on the top of it. So what I'm basically going to do is go to the layout file. So this is the page file and this is the layout file for that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to export an object named metadata. So I have to make sure the name of the variable is metadata. Alright, and we have to give a title. Right now I'm just going to give the name of the user here. Okay, and I've saved it. So I've exported this variable, and now I will go back to the app, and you can see that the localhost has been switched to Morgan Sweeney, which is the name of the user, and we can also add other details like title and wherever we want to add like normal metadata tags. But this is going to be possible for like a static page, not for dynamic pages. So this can be useful for something like a home page or a search page, but definitely not for a detail page like product detail or a user information or profile page. So for this we definitely need something which is dynamic. To give an example for that, what I'm going to do, like open new tab and search for like a particular user. Let's say I search for a user named Dan Cooper. Okay, and we see a lot of different results. So let's say this is a page from Wikipedia, which displays something related to Dan Cooper, and we also see like other pages, one from the Netflix and another from Wikipedia and DB, and stuff like that. So what basically happens here is like this is called like dynamic search insertion, which happens on the load time when the search results are loading, and this can never happen through client-side rendering because we definitely need to know all the details about the user before the search results loads. And to do that we basically need server-side rendering. So just because we want direct links to that particular dynamic page to be inserted like this in the search engines, we basically need dynamic metadata to be generated at the load time. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is this will be static and this won't be dynamic, and we want dynamic data, and we also want it to be available at the load time. We cannot just insert a tag somewhere here, like call the data and insert a meta tag here. We cannot do that because then it won't be available at the load time. So now there is another function which Next.js offers us, which we basically use, is called, the name of the function is generate metadata, and I'm going to use that. So what I'm going to do with this variable is basically for the static metadata, but the generate metadata function is basically to generate the dynamic titles. Alright, so the name of the function is generate meta m capital metadata, and this can be an async function. So basically we can make a database call here and get our data. Okay, now whatever we return from this function will be available as a metadata. So we can just I can just show that I can basically return a title. Okay, and let me save this and see, is there. But what I want to do is basically make an actual API call so that you guys know that how we actually do it. Now I have already created a function inside this lib folder, data.js, which basically gets some fake user data. So now I'm using this JSON placeholder API, which is basically an API to generate fake and random user data, and I'm just returning the response whatever I'm getting. Okay, so I'm going to use this function over here in the layout file. I'm going to get this data. I'm going to await the get user data function. Okay, and firstly let me see that what it returns. Okay, I've saved it, and let me see if I got anything in console. Yeah, I got it. Okay, I've got some random users data. I've got email, name, phone number, username, and all of that. I can insert all that data here, but most importantly I need to return that data to be available as a dynamic metadata here on the top of the tab, as well as on the search engine. All right, so what I will do is just return the title as data.name as we've seen. Okay, and now we can see that the title of the tab is the name coming with that random user API. Okay, now I also want to insert this name here on the profile, so I want to do that. So what I will do is I will go to the page file and make this function async first of all, and then get the user. I'll await the get user data. So I will just, for now, what I'll do is just replace the name, and I'll take care of rest of the things later. Okay, let me save this. Okay, as we can see here now, the name is replaced with the actual name that is coming from that API, and that name is also available on the top, and now it will also be dynamically inserted in the search engines. But the most important thing that I want to share here is that there can be a lot of times where we have to call the same function for the metadata use, as well as for populating the UI as well. In those cases, it is very common practice, but in those cases what we can do is like cache the function. So if we do that, when we cache the function, it basically caches the result and doesn't call the API twice. So I'm going to go here and use the cache method from React. Okay, so now it will render the same results basically. So I'll have the name available in both places, but I can be assured of that the API is only called once. So that is a kind of optimization. I think that is pretty much it about dynamic insertions on search engine. But one thing that I want to tell you guys is that after this, once you get the app deployed, the Google search engine kind of takes sometimes few days or up to a week to actually update that information. So it won't probably be available right after the deployment. So I have to wait for a couple of days to probably. Sometimes it does immediately, but sometimes it can take up to a week. So you just don't have to worry about it that it's not available then and there after the deployment on search engine. So it can take a while, and you should probably test after a couple of days, and it should be working fine. Alright, so that is pretty much it about search engine optimization from Next on this video. Let me know if you like this video and anything else that you suggest. Thank you so much.